We will not be able to realize the American dream until we work to realize the world dream. The world dream for peace and brotherhood, goodwill.
Ebenezer Baptist Church is America's freedom church. Of course, it is known mostly because of the ministry and activism of Martin Luther King Jr. But this church, which was founded in 1886, has always been an instrument of social activism.
We know so much about Martin Luther King Jr., but what people don't realize is that he was trained and he received his orientation because of the views of his father, who took over Ebenezer Baptist Church in 1931 in the heart of the Great Depression. Dr. King Sr., in the middle of the Great Depression, with the community falling apart around him, began to organize and bring people together so that they could work with each other to get through one of the toughest times in the history of this country, in the history of Atlanta. And I think we find ourselves in a similar state of depression today.
If you walk just a few blocks away from this church, you will see pockets of deep poverty and despair. You'll see people in trouble. You'll see unemployed people. You'll see people who could use some support and strength as they take the long road towards greater outcomes for their lives. We've continued to be a church that has tried to wrap our arms around the community. And in a real sense, the work that we're trying to do now, we see as an extension of that great historic legacy. Only a church with deep faith, and a church that understands that God sent us here that we might be present for others, would set out to do the impossible, to build a community center in the height of a recession. We're grateful. The members of the church invested much of their own money in this. The church has a whole lot of skin in the game itself, and yet virtually everything that we do in the facility will focus on helping other people, whether they're members of the church or not. We conducted surveys in the community. We conducted town hall meetings right here in the church, and we got a sense of what the people were calling for. We wanted to hear the voices of the people, to hear what their needs were, their concerns. And from that conversation, and through that conversation, we continued to work out what this collaborative would look like, who would be present, and what services we would offer.
And what we heard was that they needed connection to job opportunities, to financial resources, to help with foster care and children, and health issues. And so we've been able to bring together partners into the collaborative that have expertise and a deep history around that work, and this collaborative will then respond to the need that we heard from the community.
We wanted to bring together in the Martin Luther King Sr. Community Resources Complex organizations that have great experience with helping us to target the places where the need is the greatest. For this church to build this great facility is a wonderful thing, but then to couple that with the creation of a formidable consortium of nonprofit entities, each strong in its own right. Casey Family Programs, one of the largest and most effective foundations in this nation, focused on families and children. Operation Hope, focused on financial literacy and dignity. The Center for Working Families, focused on workforce development. Catholic Charities, delivering services to the hungry, the homeless, the struggling, all on the campus of this historic church.
And this gives us a chance to really serve the downtown Atlanta community and really make a difference and improve neighborhoods, help build stronger families, and just move people to self-sufficiency.
So the Center for Working Families for the last 7 years has been building a model and has really hit on how to help people move up and out of poverty, and the opportunity to move into other parts of the city of Atlanta, especially the Martin Luther King Historic District, to do this work has really been a wonderful chance for us. And so we're excited to begin the work in the MLK Historic District to help connect families to the job services, the financial services, and the entrepreneurship opportunities that will help them take care of their families.
I took their first inaugural class for the entrepreneurs in the area. And it started out with 30 people. And it was such an awesome 14 weeks. And we all graduated, all 30 of us. Some of us have already started businesses because of Operation Hope. What you're going to learn just from taking these courses, these workshops, it's so valuable.
We believe that the future is predicated upon getting people in a position where they can take responsibility for themselves, giving them the tools that they need in order to solve their own problems, rather than having to go and rely on someone else to fix something for them. And we believe that everybody in this great country, if given the opportunity and the tools and the hope that they can succeed, that they will apply their best.
There's a difference between being broke and being poor. Being broke is economic, but being poor is a disabling frame of mind and a depressed condition of your spirit, and you must vow never to be poor again. When people get a taste of what this collaborative has to offer, they'll never be poor again. They may be broke, they may have tough days, they may have more month at the end of their money, but they'll never be without hope and they'll never be poor. Again, that has a ripple effect. It has a transformational energy into it that changes communities and saves lives. And Dr. King was about changing lives. Daddy King was about changing lives. And this center will be worth its weight in gold when it starts changing lives. That process starts right now.
Daddy King always served people out of his office practically. Anybody could come there with any problem and he'd find a way to help them solve it. Sometimes it meant taking them by the hand and taking them back someplace to get a job. Sometimes he went to get them out of jail. But he ran a one-man service center. And now we're a much bigger city, so it takes this kind of collaboration just to keep up with his vision.
This building represents my father's life, all of the work that he did. And one of his favorite quotes, he said, you know, I'm all about helping the least of these. And so with the complex here, I think the organizations that are here will certainly be of help to what he called the least of these. So I'm sure that he's smiling, and we're so happy to be able to carry out.